Good Wednesday morning, everybody, and welcome to the mop here on a Wednesday morning. Yes, a hump day. Woohoo! Sun is out. Hardly any any clouds in the sky. It is a beautiful morning. Notice how that changes your attitude as well versus that cloudy, gloomy, yucky days. When there's sun out, no matter quite how cold it is, the day is better. So welcome to the mop. Is today the day? I did not spend the night watching last night any television. I did not watch The Address. I did not watch any of that. I am glad to see that some of the left did sit or did stand, but they showed up. The one question I have for both sides is, what do you expect to happen? Do you want, if you're the right, I have a feeling you just want everybody to fall into complacency and just be okay with how things are. If you're on the left, I think some of it is they just want justice. They want people to be held accountable, people to be truthful. And yes, don't start, I know, both sides, got it. Yes, they all lie. Yes, I know. I hear it all the time. Chris, you're dreaming, you're having a pipe dream or whatever it may be. But I strongly feel that that's what people want. We want people to be held accountable. We all are. If you're married, you're held accountable. If you have children, you're held accountable. You cannot behave in manners that would put anybody in harm or in danger without consequences. So how the hell hard is it? Now they've found that there's pages that have just disappeared. So I'm curious. You know, I've had an interaction with a gentleman, and it was a great interaction, that he was saying how Obama took his health care and Biden did this and this. My question with the health care is what has Trump and the Republicans done for health care? See, health care for me is very important. I just saw now where there's more colleges that, because they're being withheld funding, are not going to be able to do the research for Alzheimer's. See, that's a big deal for me. Not being able to do research and try to figure out cancers, Alzheimer's, which have all taken very close family members of mine. The Alzheimer's thing is why I hold the tournament I do to raise, yes, it's been only $15,000 in 12 months. It doesn't seem to do a whole lot. That's in my head too. But when I hear they're canceling programs that are trying to end these diseases, trying to end those, and yet our big worry is why aren't we celebrating that the stocks are where they're at? Because there's a lot of us that don't have stocks. Because if you remember past due things, maybe there's just some of us that can't afford to do that. Oh, Chris, come on. No, seriously. So if you're enjoying the rise of the stock market and it is helping you financially, congratulations. There are some of us that cannot play that game until I do want to do some more search or do whatever and try to figure that out. I have life insurance on myself for just to help my wife bury me. That's about the extent of it. Health insurance is god-awful and atrocious. My wife carries that, thank goodness, but it is expensive. And you can say what you want about county government, blah, 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 how they have not good health insurance. We are blessed they have some, but it is not great. My question is when are we going to see a Republican-backed health care plan? Sending me $2,000 to find my own isn't going to help me find my own. Okay? Coming from a guy that had a stroke in 17, Lyme's disease, grand mal seizure, is diabetic, doing everything I can. The stroke alone and the seizure with the ambulance rides and the hospital stays, and staph infection in my foot, and the cost to save that foot, because it would have been easier to chop the toe off. Kind of like when I was in high school and college when I didn't have insurance. When you had a problem with your tooth, they said, do you want a root canal for $1,000 or pull it for $75? Think we'll pull it. See, that's the choices people are making these days. People are playing Russian roulette with their shots, with their medications, with all of that stuff. And you can say, well, that's the Democrat. Who's in power right now? Quit blaming. You know, Caroline just did it the other day when she blamed that Biden, something about a year. He's been in charge a year already, so quit blaming the other side. The right side has the power. When are you going to announce a health care plan? When are you going to hold people accountable for the atrocities that they did? When are we going to hear about the findings about Good and Pettit and all of the other ones that were hurt by ice, or like the latest with the 80-year-old that was tackled, or the woman that had her window shattered, but then they saw her passport on the ground and just left? When are we going to start holding accountable people for their actions? When are you going to bring the standard above? I would have to say right now, we are just above the frat beer party house. We're probably above that. We might be just below the meth house, maybe, for behavior and accountability. When are we going to quit with the name calling? Had this thought on the way into work. Because of all the electronic devices these days, if there would have been all the videoing back when I was in high school, how many people would be ashamed of their behavior that they did in high school towards other people, towards those with special needs, towards those that were different, that weren't the jocks or the athletic ones or anything else, the ones that had the long hair and were probably using drugs, whatever. How many people, would they be videotaped and would go, yep, that's me, proud of me, I did a damn good job in school? I know of a few girls that I could say definitely would have been safe all through school. But I know a few people that probably should look at it and go, wow, I was a shithead, and it wasn't good to treat some people that way. The people like Murray Moore, Scott Johnson, Todd Pankow. If you were videotaped of doing what you did to those people, the Dougie Schmitzes of Plain, would you look at yourself and say, I should not have ever done that, and apologize for your behaviors? Razzing people such as what, people call as high school immature boy behaviors. But if you were actually videotaped and somebody came back and played that, what would you have to say about yourself? That's how I look at this right now, is we have a cabinet in power in the White House that is nothing more than a frat house, that is nothing more than disrespectful to everybody but those in power. And the rich, let's cater to them. Let's make them a lot richer. Oh, by the way, I'm going to make myself a lot richer too. See, it amazes me that we're okay with a president that is selling Bibles, watches, cheap gold jewelry, cheap shit to make money. And then we're okay with people also taking bribes from others to make it better. So when do we start really seeing a change to bring people back together? I had a lot of friends that, I wouldn't say a lot. I didn't have a lot of friends, nor do I still have a lot of friends because of that reason. People that quit talking to me or people that are upset with me, it's okay. I've been through enough shit in my life that it doesn't matter. I have friends that'll be true friends. And I have one that lives states away, but him and I talk quite oftenly because we went through a lot of similar shit together. And when you're a poor kid and you move into town and you don't blend in because you are weird and then you wear homemade clothes, people don't have the same look as you. I started working when I was 14. First full-time job, mostly as most you could be at 15. When I turned 15, bought my own car, bought all the stuff I did there, bought my own class ring. I have done. And then to hear, well, Chris, if you really want more money, you got to work harder. I'm 51 years old, been working for 36 of that. Non-stop, except for when I had my stroke. That kind of slowed me down a little bit. And it has slowed me down enough now to change me to where I say, what changes? When do people start caring for others and start worrying about your neighbor and start making sure you're there for people versus how much more can I put in the bank before I'm happy? How much money does it take to make you happy? How much money do you have to have set aside before you're happy? Is there a number? Or do you treat people no different if you had $0 in your bank account or if you got $1 million? Do you treat them the same? Or do you treat them differently? Do you look inside your heart and go, that's what I should really focus on? Is that's what will make me happy? I don't have to worry about where I'm going when I am called up yonder. I know where I'm going. When I had to, if I had to sit on television and question that and try to convince people of all the good things I've done, then you're not listening at all to yourself. You're not actually learning anything you were taught by your parents or your mother or whatever it may be. Take time to really evaluate your true self and see where that's at. That's all I've got for you today. But I'm tired. I know that. And constant pain also makes you tired. And just struggling in life in general sometimes makes you tired. But I will keep going. I'm going to see what road the good Lord has for me, because needless to say, He's put some hurdles in my way. But I have gotten over each one of them, and every time, and I'll crawl over them. I'll dive whatever I have to do to get through them. Sometimes life feels like you're deer hunting on a deer drive and you're going through buckthorn. But the only good thing is when you get through it, a lot of times it's been worth that climb. So keep climbing, keep moving forward, ask for help when needed, but also take time for yourself to understand how you were, or those people that you might have mistreated needed to say, I'm sorry. There are a few people in my life that I definitely probably treated wrong. I can't ever get a hold of them to say I'm sorry, but that's how life goes. But I want to start seeing people, instead of just putting the blame on somebody else, when can you bring fixes? Many times of the schoolings I've went to and all the trainings I went to for being a sales manager, whatever it was you can come to a meeting with problems. That's not a problem. But you better come with solutions as well. And I quite haven't seen those. And the immigrants and the border and the drugs and all that stuff, some of that is a very big distraction. Yes, there is a drug problem in the United States. There is no doubt. But a lot of it is being manufactured here. Just as you heard about Mexico's arms problems, their firearms and everything else, most of them are coming from here. Tell me the difference. Have a great day, everybody. I'm sorry it's a somber one today. That's where I'm at today. I'm tired of the pain. I'm tired of that in my shoulders and my neck. Still don't know what I did. Went and got adjusted. But I'm also nerve damages, all that stuff. It gets tiring after a while. But life will be better. I'll make it through and we'll go on. But that's just where it is. I think a lot of people are feeling it right now, unfortunately. So have a great day. Wish you all the best. And as always, take time to bless somebody today.